Shalom. Yoga Sutra, Book 1. Okay, here we go. Sutra 25. No, Shalom. Kim Jam Tatra Niratishayam Sarvajanya Bijama Yadidamati Tang Gata Pratyuta Panana Pratyeka Samuchayang Ati Nandriyagrahano Ma. What the heck is that? Mahapam. Fuzzy texts. Got it. Maripam. L. That's an L. Okay. Starting from here. I want to say it again. This is a beautiful sutra. Kim Jam Tatra Niratishayam Sarvajanya Bijama Yadidamati Tang Gata Pratyuta Panana Pratyeka Samuchayang Ti Nandriyagra Hano Maripam Bahuvati Bahuviti Sarvajanya Bijameta de Vibaltamam Sarvajanya Bijameta de Valbi Sarvajanya Bijamet. Oh wait, so there's an alternative text. How do I want? I'm gonna take a look at it first. So I'll do two different versions. This is the first version, reading it for the first time. Starting from the arrow, almost on the first time. Try. Sarvajanya Bijameta de Vibaltamanam Yatran Diratishayam Sang Sarvajanya. Second try. Yadidamati Tang Gata Pratyuta Panana Pratyeka Samuchayang Ati Nandriyagra Hana Maripam Bahaviti Sarvajanya Bijameta de Vibaltamanam Yatran Diratishayam Sang Sarvajanya. Okay, moving on. Now the second version. Tattva Salva. So they added a syllable before that word. So starting from here, I'm gonna put that there so I don't forget. Second version, first try. Second version, first try. Sorry. Yadidamati Tang Gata Pratyuta Panana. Yadidamati Tang Gata Pratyuta Panana Pratyeka Samuchayang Ati Nandriyagra Hana Maripam Bahaviti Tattva Sarvajanya Bijameta de Vibaltamanam Yatran Diratishayam Sang Sarvajanya. Okay, moving on. I want to say it again. Okay, second try for the second version. Yadidamati Tang Gata Pra. Yadidamati Tang Gata Pratyuta Panana Pratyeka Samuchayang Ati Nandriyagra Hana Maripam Bahuviti Tattva Sarvajanya. Sorry, now I'm being attacked by a ghost. Imagine that. Sarvajanya Bijameta de Vibaltamanam Yatra Niratishayam Sang Sarvajanya. You know, I have no more human enemies, so I get attacked by non-human enemies now. Stop. My angels cannot do anything about it because it has to do. It's tied into the ghost that's bothering me. It's tied into my karma. I didn't know that always. I recently found this. Here we go. Yadidamati Tang Gata Pratyuta Panana Pratyeka Samuchayang Ati Nandriyagra Hana Maripam Bahaviti Tattva Sarvajanya Bijameta de Vibaltamanam Yatra Niratishayam Sang Sarvajanya. Asati Kang Shitha Prangapatiha Sarvajanya Bijasyam Sangatishayat Vangate Parimano Baditi. I have to double check this fuzziness. No, that's what I'm dealing with here. Fuzzy texts. Ancient fuzzy texts. Santi Shayat Vant Parimano Vaditi. Second try. Asati Ganashita Prapatiha Salvajinya Bijasyam Santi Shayat Vant Parimano Vaditi. Yatram Ganashita Prapatiljinya Nasyam. Yatram Ganashita Prapatiljinya Nasyam Salvajinya. It's a little fuzzy, double check. Okay. Sanjang Purusha Visheshwa Iti. I'll say it from here again. Yatram Ganashita Prapatiljinya. Yatram Ganashita Prapatiljinya Nasyam Salvajinya. Sanjang Purusha Visheshwa Iti. Samanyama Turopa Samhare. Samanyama Turopa Samhare. Jang Guruto Pakushaya Nam Manumanam. Guruto Pakushaya Manumanam. Na Vishesha Prati Patatam Samaltamiti. And it has two versions. First version, second try. Samanyama Turopa Samhare. Jang Guruto Pakushaya Manumanam na Vishesha Prati Patatam Samaltamiti. Moving on, number 1. Actually, I want to read it again. Somebody was honking while I was reading. Samanyama Turopa Samhare Jam Guruto Pakushaya Manumanam na Vishesha Prati Patatam Samaltamiti. Second version coming up. Good. Is there anything else? So it skips Jung. Second version, first try. Samanyama Turopa Samhare Guruto Pakushaya Manumanam na Vishesha Prati Patatam Samaltamiti. I think the first version is correct. Tasyam Samjinyang Dibi Shesha Prati Patati Ragamatah. Tasyam Samjinyang Dibi Shesha Prati Patati Ragamatah. Tasyam Samjinyang Dibi Shesha Prati Patati Ragamatah. Pariyanam Veshuya. Still fuzzy. Pariyanam Veshuya. Okay, cool. Second try. Tasyam Samjinyang Dibi Sheshwa. Tasyam Samjinyang. Like, can you hear that? Being attacked by a non-human. That while I'm reading Sanskrit. Imagine that. Ghostbusters stuff. That's it though, you know. So all that for just that. Tasyam Samjinyang Dibi Shesha Prati Patati Ragamatah. Pariyanam Veshuya. Last try. Tasyam Samjinyang Dibi Shesha Prati Patati Ragamatah. Pariyanam Veshuya. Ragamatah. Tasyam Samjinyang Dibi Shesha Prati Patati Ragamatah. Tasyam Samjinyang Dibi Shesha Prati Patati Ragamatah. Pariyanam Veshuya. Tasyam Tamanugraha Bhavepi Bhutanugraha Prayojanam. Okay, there's a fuzzy spelling there. Let me just save myself now. Nude kru or tru? Tru ri Okay. Not true, to. Okay, ta. Sorry for the fuzzy text. This is the best version out there because it has, other variations and whatnot. Here we go. Oh well. 진냐나 말 탈모 빠데시나 진냐나 탈모 빠데시나 가르파 프랄라야 마하 프랄라야슈 가르파 프랄라야 마하 프랄라야슈 삼사리너허 부르셔 누드타리 슈여미팀 부르셔 누드타리 슈여미팀. Still fuzzy here. Double check. Okay. Second try. Almost done. 2 sentences left. 진양나 탈모빠데시남 가르파 프랄라야마하 프랄라야슈 가르파 프랄라야마하 프랄라야슈 삼사리너허 부르셔 누드타리 슈여미띠. Last try. 진양나 탈모빠데시남 가르파 프랄라야마하 프랄라야슈 삼사리너허 부르셔 누드타리 슈여미띠. 따탕 쪼끄따마 아디비드방은 일망은 어찌듯다마디 슈트양 아디비드방은 일망은 어찌듯다마디 슈트양 가르노여드 파가방은 빠라말슈이 랑수라யம் 가르노여드 파가방은 빠라말슈이 가르노여드 파가방은 빠라말슈이 랑누라யம் 수라யம். This is the culprit. 가르노여드 파가방은 빠라말슈이랑 아수라யம். Almost. 가르노여드 파가방은 빠라말슈이랑 아수라യം. 지진양 사마나양 따는뜨람. Are you kidding me? 브로마 베티 Provachati. This one says Chati and this version says Vati. No, it says Chati. Provachati. What's the difference? No difference. Okay. Tanantaram. Okay. Double checking this thing. Okay. Second try. 따탕 쪼끄따무 아디비드바는 일망은 어찌듯다마 티슈트양 가르누여드 파가바는 빠라말슈이랑 수라예 지진양 사마나양 따는뜨람 브로방아차팀 사마나양. Right? Yeah, okay. Last try. 따탕 쪼끄따무 아디비드바는 일망은 어찌듯다마 티슈트양 가르누여드 파가바는 빠라말슈이랑 수라예 지진양 사마나양 따는뜨람 브로방아차팀. Shalom. Thank you. Thanking God. Or Sanskrit God. Thank you, Sanskrit. Furthermore, in this, the germ of the omniscient is at its utmost excellence. This our process of knowing the supersensuous, whether in the past or future or present, whether separately or collectively, whether it be small or great, is the germ of the omniscient. I'll be there again. This our process of knowing the supersensuous, whether in the past or future or present, whether separately or collectively, whether it be small or great, is the germ of the omniscient. He, verily, in whom this germ, as it increases progressively, reaches its utmost excellence, is the omniscient. It is possible for the germ of the omniscient to reach this limit, for it admits of degrees of excellence, as in the case of any ascending scale. I'll read that again, sorry. It is possible for the germ of the omniscient to reach this limit, for it admits of degrees of excellence, as in the case of any ascending scale. He in whom the limit of thinking is reached is the omniscient, and he is a special kind of self. An inference exhausts its force in bringing a general proposition to a conclusion, but is powerless to prove a particular instance. Therefore, the ascertainment of the one's special name is to be sought out in the verbal communication. I'll read it again. Therefore, the ascertainment of the one's special name is to be sought out in the verbal communication. Although he is above all feelings of self-gratification, yet the gratification of living beings is a sufficient motive. He may be conceived as resolving, by instruction in knowledge and in right living, at the dissolution of the mundane period and at the great dissolution, I will lift up human beings who are whirled in the vortex of existence. And likewise it hath been said, the first knower, assuming a created mind stuff through compassion, the exalted, the supreme sage, unto Asuri, who desired to know, declared this doctrine. Veda next, thank you. Veda, Book 5, Hymn 68. Pretty short, 5 shlokas. Here we go. No, Shalom. Pravo mitraya kayata arunaya pipang girang. Second try. Pravo mitraya kayata arunaya pipang girang. Mahikushatra buratam burahat. Samurang jang yang kretayoni mitrashi chopang parunashijang. Second try. Samurang jang yang kretayoni mitrashi chopang parunashijang. Last try. Samurang jang yang kretayoni mitrashi chopang parunashijang. Devang Deveshu Parashasatang Tang Nah Shakatam Baltivasya Maho Rangayo Divyasyan Mahi Pang Kushatram Deveshu Ratamuratanam Sapananteshwiram Takashamang Shangatem Sapananteshwi. Second try. Ratamurutena Sapananteshwiram Takashamang Shangatem Adurohang Devao Baltete. Second try. Adurohang Devao Baltete Urashatui Diang Bang Ri Diang Peshasapati Tanumatiang Burhanantam Kaltamang Shangatem. Shalom. Okay. You know what? I'll just read the whole thing once. If I fail, I'll just finish it up. Prapo mitrasyam prapo mitraya kayata parunaya pipangay kirangay mahiko shatrang baratam barahat samurang jangay jangay krita mitrashi jopangay parunashi jang devangay deveshu prashasutangay tang nahu shakatam Tivasya maho rangayo tivyasyan mahi pangam kshatram deveshwa ratamurutana sapananta shriram takushamang ashangatem adruhang devam patetem Borashatuidyang vange Rityang pashasupati Tanumatyang Purohanantam kaitamang ashangatem No, shalom. This is really good for the translation. Here we go. Sing forth unto your Varuna and Mitra with a song inspired. They, mighty lords, are lofty law. Full springs of fatness, sovereign kings, Mitra and Varuna, the twain, gods glorified among the gods. So help ye us to riches, great terrestrial and celestial wealth. Vast is your sway among the gods. Carefully tending law with law, they have attained their vigorous might. The two gods wax devoid of guile. I'll be there again. Carefully tending law with law, they have attained their vigorous might. The two gods wax devoid of guile. With rainy skies and streaming floods, lords of the strength that bringeth gifts, a lofty seat have they attained. Upanishad next, thank you. Okay. Taitutiri Upanishad 11th Anupankyam. 4 long shlokas. And after this is next and last is Bhagavad Gita. And do I need something? Yes, I do. Alright, 1 minute break. Here we go. Shalom. Shifuya Nushang Saname. Deva Manu Jiang Jang Arionan Devang Asina Manu Shang Sati. Satyam Padam. Taimam Jaram. Sivan Tiang Yang Namai. Brahmadaha. Jang Aryan Yang. Priyam. Tanama Hurutiyam. Brajang Tanantum Manga. Vyavacha Chatasiha. Satyanana Pramadita Vyama. Second try. Satyanana Pramadita Vyama. Taimanana Pramadita Vyama. Kushalanana Pramadita Vyama. Phutyayana Pramadita Vyama. Sivangatyaya Pravachana Pyam Na Pramadita Vyama. I want to say this word again. So, alright, second try the whole thing. This is so short that I could just read the whole thing. Yeah, I'll just try it once. Second try and last try. Shifuya Nushang Sanama. Deva Manu Jiang Jari Yonan Davang Devang. Veda Manu Jiang Jari Yonan Devang Asina Manu Shang Satim. Satyam Padam. Taimam Jaram. Sivan Tiang Yang Namai. Paramadaha. Jang Aryan Yang Priyam. Tanama Hurutiyam. Brajang Tanantum Manga. Vyavacha Chatasiha. Satyanana Pramadita. Satyanana Pramadita Vyama. Taimanana Pramadita Vyama. Kushalanana Pramadita Vyama. Phutyayana Pramadita Vyama. Sivangatyaya Pravachana Pyam Na Pramadita Vyama. Second try in the last sentence. Sivangatyaya Pravachana Pyam Na Pramadita Vyama. Okay. Deva Petro Kang Aryan Pyam Na Pramadita Vyama. Second try. Deva Petro Kang Aryan Pyam Na Pramadita Vyama. Matra Devo Pavan. Petro Devo Pavan. Acharya Devo Pavan. Atiti Devo Pavan. Yanya Navadyani Kaimanui. Tani Savitavyani No Itaranui. Yanya Smakam Sucharitani. Tani Devayopangasyani. I'm going to read the whole thing just once. Once more. Okay. Deva Petro Kang Aryan Pyam Na Pramadita Vyama. Matra Devo Pavam. Petro Devo Pavam. Acharya Devo Pavam. Aditi Devo Pavam. Wait. Aditi Devo Pavam. Yanya Navadyani Kaimanui. Tani Savitavyani No Itaranui. Yanya Smakam Sucharitani. Tani Devayopangasyani. I want to do that again because I messed up. Too badly. Deva Petro Kang Aryan Pyam Na Pramadita Vyama. Matra Devo Pavam. Petro Devo Pavam. Acharya Devo Pavam. Aditi Devo Pavam. Yanya Navadyani Kaimanui. Tani Savitavyani No Itaranui. Yanya Smakam Sucharitani. Tani Devayopangasyani. 2 more to go. No itaranui ye ke jang smart tro chreyang jang smart chreyang so I think this is one word. jang smart chreyang so brahmanoha. Second try. Ye ke jang smart chreyang so brahmanoha. Deshwam devayang sanenam Parashivasitabhyam Shrad Tayang Deyam Ashrad Tayang Deyam Shriyang Deyam Huriyang Deyam Piyang Deyam Sambidang Deyam Atha Yadi Te Kama Vichit Sang Kama Vichit Sang Mang Purutang Purutachik Vichi Purutap Purutatabichi Kitu Sang Bang Siang. Second try. Atha Yadi Te Kaima Vichi Kitu Sang Bang Purutatabichi Kitu Sang Bang Siang. I'll be the whole thing just once again. No Itaranui ye ke jangas no itaranui ye ke jangas matu chreyam so brahmanoe deshwam devayang sanena parashiva sitavyam deshwam devayang sanena parashiva sitavyam shrad tayang deyam ashrad tayang deyam shriyang deyam huriyang deyam piyang deyam sambidang deyam atha yadi te kama vichikit sang bang purutata vichikit sang bang siang. Okay, moving on. Last one. I could read it again. Okay. This is what I do for fun. I have no life. Forgive me. Last try. No itaranui ye ke jang smart chreyam so brahmanoe deshwam devayang sanenam parashivasitabhyam shrad tayang deyam ashrad tayang deyam shriyang deyam huriyang deyam piyang deyam sambidang deyam atha yadi te kama vichikit sang bang purutata vichikit sang bang siang. ye tatra brahmanoe samalshinah. Second try. Last shloka. ye tatra brahmanoe samalshinah yukutang alu kufoe talmakang amah siuhe yatang te tatra palterane tatang tatra paltetang atang pyang kyang teshu ye tatra brahmanoe samashinah yukutang alu kufoe talmakang amah siuhe yatang te teshu palterane tatang teshu paltetang esha adeshah esha upadeshah esha devopanishad etatanushang sanam evamupang asitavyam evamu chaitadupang asyam. I'll read that one more time. Hopefully I won't make any mistakes. And after this is Bhagavad Gita. Here we go. ye tatra brahmanoe samashinah yukutang Alu kufur talmakama siuhe. Yatang te tatra balterane. Tatang tatra baltetang atang piang kiang teshu. Ye tatra brahmano samashina yukutang yukutang alu kufur talmakama siuhe. Yatang te teshu balterane. Tatang teshu baltetang eshu desha eshu upadesha eshu Upanishad etadanushang sanam evamupang asitavyam evamu chaitadupang asyam. No, shalom. Itiekang dashanupang kah. Having taught the Veda, a teacher further instructs a pupil. Speak the truth, practice virtue, neglect not study. Having brought an acceptable gift to the teacher, cut not off the line of progeny. One should not be negligent of truth. One should not be negligent of virtue. One should not be negligent of welfare. One should not be negligent of prosperity. One should not be negligent of study and teaching. One should not be negligent of duties to the gods and to the fathers. Be one to whom a mother is as a god. Be one to whom a father is as a god. Be one to whom a teacher is as a god. Be one to whom a guest is as a god. Those acts which are irreproachable should be practiced, and no others. Those things which among us are good deeds should be revered by you, and no others. Whatever Brahmans are superior to us, for them refreshment should be procured by you with a seat. One should give with faith. One should not give without faith. One should give with plenty. One should give with modesty. One should give with fear. One should give with sympathy. Now, if you should have doubt concerning an act or doubt concerning conduct, if there should be there Brahmans competent to judge, apt, devoted, not harsh, lovers of virtue, as they may behave themselves in such a case, so should you behave yourself in such a case. Now, with regard to, I'm going to read that from here, to them. I'm just going to say them. If there should be there Brahmans competent to judge, apt, devoted, not harsh, lovers of virtue, as they may behave themselves in such a case, so should you behave yourself in such a case. Now, regard to them spoken against. If there should be there Brahmans competent to judge, sorry, I can't say competent because of my injuries, making me mad. And now people are making noises outside. I love reading Sanskrit translation, reading the translation, not so much. If there should be there Brahmans competent to judge, apt, devoted, not harsh, lovers of virtue, as they may behave themselves in such a case, so should you behave yourself in such a case. Now, with regard to them spoken against, if there should be there Brahmans competent to judge, apt, devoted, not harsh, lovers of virtue, as they may behave themselves with regard to such, so should you behave yourself with regard to such. This is the teaching, this is the admonition, this is the secret doctrine of the Veda, this is the instruction, this is the instruction. Thus should one worship, thus indeed should one worship. This is the teaching, this is the admonition, this is the secret doctrine of the Veda, this is the instruction. Thus should one worship, thus indeed should one worship. Okay. Thus ends the 11th Anubhaga game. Next and last is Bhagavad Gita taking a little break because that one might be long. Next time, Bhagavad Gita may take me like 45 minutes. It's not too bad actually. Okay, it's not bad at all. Taking a minute break. Thank you. It's incredibly short for a Bhagavad Gita chapter. Happy. So yeah, I should be done within the next half an hour. Alright, just give me one more minute. Thank you. Okay. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8. Here we go. Yeah. 어떤 아식도 못이야 야흐 아그셔라 브라흐마 요가흐. No, shalom. अर्जुन उबंचं किम तद ब्रह्म किमध्यात्मं किम कर्म पुरुषोत्तमं अतिभूतं च किम प्रोक्तं मथिदैवं किमुच्यते अतिभूतं च किम प्रोक्तमथिदैवं किमुच्यते. I'll read the whole thing just one try once. Kim Tada Brahma Kimatyantamam Kim Kaima Purushottatamam Ati Bhutam Jang Kim Prokatamatidaivam Kimutyatem Ati Yajinyah Katam Kotaram Dehesmena Matusudanam Ati Yajinyah Katam Kotaram Dehesmena Matusudanam Prayana Kangle Jang Katam Jinyosi Nyatatamapiha Shri Bhagavan Nuvangchang Akasharam Brahma Paramam Svapabodhyatamamuchyatem Putapabodha Pavakaro Putapabodha Pavakaro Visargaha Kaima Samjinitaha. Second try. Putapabodha Pavakaro Visargaha Kaima Samjinitaha. Last try. Putapabodha Pavakaro Putapabodha Pavakaro Visargaha Kaima Samjinitaha. Second try. Akasharam Brahma Paramam Svapabodhyatamamuchyatem Putapabodha Pavakaro Visargaha Kaima Samjinitaha. Ati Putam Gashoro Pavaha Purushashachatidaivadama Ati Yajinyom Hame Bangatram Ati Yajinyom Hame Bangatram Deha Pratang Param. Second try. Ati Yajinyom Hame Bangatram Deha Pratang Param. Okay, entire shloka, first try and last try. First and last try. Ati Putam Gashoro Pavaha Purushashachatidaivadama Ati Yajinyom Hame Bangatram Deha Pratang Param. Anantakangle Jamameva Sevarana Mukutuvanga Kalevarama Yah Prayangati Sa Madhupangavam Yangati Nasatyatra Samshayahu Yam Pangapi Smaranam Pangavam Pyajatyanantem Kalevarama Tamevaiti Gaunanteyang Sadange Tadupava Pangavitahu. Second try on the entire shloka. First and last try on the entire shloka. Shloka 6. Yam Pangapi Savaranam Pangavam Sama. Yam Pangapi Samaranam Pangavam Dyajatyanandam Kalevarama Tamevaiti Gaunanteyang Sadange Tadupava Pangavitahu. Tasamata Saibeshu Kangleshu Mama Nusumara Yutiachang. Tasamata Saibeshu Kangleshu Mama Nusumara Yutiachang. Maya Pita Mano Buddha Tilman Vaishuya Siya Samshayahu. And there's two versions. First version. Maya Pita Mano Buddha Tilman Vaishuya Siya Samshayahu. Okay. Second version, first try. Maya Pita Mano Buddha Tilman Mame. Maya Pita Mano Buddha Tilman Vaishuya Siya Samsayama. Oh, messed up. Okay. I'm gonna put that there so I don't mess up. Maya Pita Mano Buddha Tilman Vaishuya Siya Samsayama. Apya Sayo. Apya Sayoga Yukutana Chetasangam Nanyagangaminangam Paramam Purusham Divyam Yangati Pangaltano Chinantayana Kavim Purana Manushang Sitara Manora Nuyam Samanu Sumare Diaha Kavim Purana Manushang Sitaram Kavim Purana Manushang Sitaram Manoranui Yam Samanu Smare Biadia Hokmyo Kavim Purana Manushang Sitaram Manoranui Yam Samanu Smare Diah Samanu Smare Diah Kavim Purana Manushang Sitaram Manoranui Yam Samanu Smare Diah Salvation Tara Machina Dia Rupamang Ditya Vainam Salvation Tara Machina Dia Rupamang Ditya Vainam Tamasah Parasitang. The second try on that. Salvation Tara Machina Dia Rupamang Tara Machina Dia Rup Salvation Tara Machina Dia Rupamang Ditya Vainam Tamasah Parasitang. Okay, first try on the entire shloka. Kavim Purana Manushang Sitara Manoranui Kavim Purana Manurashang Kavim Purana Manushasi Kavim Purana Manushang Sita Kavim Purana Manushang Sitara Manoran Kavim Purana Manushang Sitara Manoranui Yam Samanu Smare Diah Kavim Purana Manushang Sitara Manoranui Yam Samanu Smare Diah Salvation Tara Machina Dia Rupamang Ditya Vainam Samatah Tamasah Parasitang. Up to do that again. Tamasah Salvation Tara Machina Dia Rupamang Ditya Vainam Tamasah Parasitang. Prayana Kanglem Manasang Chalena Pakatiyang Yukuto Yoga Palena Jaivan Prubol Matie Prana Ma Veshyang Samyak Sa Tam Param Purusho Mupaiti Divyama. I get attacked by non-humans. Hiding to my Gaima apparently. Yadakusharam Vedabidum Vadananti Bishananti Yadyatayo Bitarangagah. I want to do that again. Yadakusharam Vedabidum Vadananti Bishananti Yadyatayo Bitarangagah Yadichananto Brahmacharyam Charananti Tatate Padam Sangangra Hena Bravakushuyam. Second try. Yadichananto Brahmacharyam Charananti Tatate Padam Sangangra Hena Bravakushuyam. The entire shloka. Second try. First try. Yadakusharam Vedavido Padananti Vishananti Yadyatayo Pitaragah Yadichananto Brahmacharyam Charananti Tatate Padam Sangangra Hena Bravakushuyam. Salvadu Banranui Samyamya Mano Hurudi Irutiacham Multiniang Atayat Manah Pranama Satitom Yogatara Noema. Omitiekan Kusharam Brahma Vyaharanama Manusmarana Yah Prayangati Vyajanandeham Yangati Paramam Gatim Ananya Chatang Satatam Yokmam Samarati Nityashah Dasyang Ham Kulapah Sulapah. Are you kidding me? Dasyang Ham Sulapah Pangaita Nitya Yukudasya Yoginah. Okay, the entire thing again. Ananya Chatang Satatam Yokmam Samarati Nityashah Dasyang Ham Sulapah Pangaita Nitya Yukudasya Yoginah. Pamupatyam Punarjanama duhakala yamasha shivatama. Na punuvananti mahatmanah samsidatim paramam katah. Brahma puvanam vilokah. Brahma puvana vilokah. Punara Valtinurjanam. Punara Valtinurjanam. Second try. Halfway through. Brahma Puvana Lokah Punara Valtinurjanam. Mamupetiatu Kaunanteya Punarjanama Na Vidyatim. Sasara Yoga Paryananta Maharyad Brahmano Viduha. Rantarim Yuga Sasranantang Tehorantara Vido Janah. Avyakatang Vyakatang Vyakataya. Avyakatang Vyakataya Saivang Prapavanantia Haragame. Second try. Prapavanantia Haragame. Avyakatang Vyakataya Saivang Prapavanantia Haragame. Rantriyangame Prali Yanante Tatraivang Vyakata Samjinyakem. Rantriyangame Prali Yanante Tatraivang Vyakata Samjinyakem. The entire thing. Vyakatang Vyakataya Saivang Prapavanantia Haragame. Rantriyangame Prali Yanante Tatraivang Vyakata Samjinyakem. Putagrama Sang Evangayam Putavang Praliyatem. Rangatriyagame Vashah Pangalta Prapavatia Haragame. Okay, the entire thing. Putagrama Sang Evangayam Putavang Praliyatem. Rangatriyagame Vashah Pangalta Prapavatia Haragame. Rangatriyagame Vashah Pangalta Prapavatia Haragame. Moving on. Parasatasamatattu Paboniot Vyakatang Sanatanaha. Parasatasamatattu Pabonio Vyakatang Sanatanaha. Yah Saibeshu Puteshu Nashyatusu Na Vinashyati. Avyakutokusharam Ityukutasama Huha. Ityukutasama Huha. Ityukutasama Huha. Ityukutasama Huha Paramam Katima. Second try. Avyakutokusharam Ityukutasatang. Ityukutam. Towels falling off. Must be a hard word for me. Ityukutam. Tasatang. Okay. Ityukutasatama Huha. Got it. Avyakutokusharam Ityukutasatama Huha Paramam Katima. Yam Pranapya Na Divaitanante Tadatangama Paramam Mamam. Purusha Sang Paraha Pangalta Pakatiyang La Piasa Devania Yang La Piasa Devana Yang. How do I want to start from here. Avyakutokusharam Ityukutasatama Avyakutokusharam Ityukutasatama Huha Paramam Katima. Yam Pranapya Na Divaitanante Tadatangama Paramam Mamam. Purusha Sang Paraha Pangalta Pakatiyang La Piasa Devana Yang. Yasyanantaha Satani Putangani Yana Saivamidam Tatama. Yatram Kale Devana Burotatima Burotatim Jaivan Yoginaha. Second try. 6 left. 28 is the last one at 23. Yay. a short day. I should be done before 1 hour and 30 minutes in this session. Ran out of coffee too. It's timing. Yeah, I think pretty soon Sanskrit is gonna be my first language. It's already looking easier and easier, every time I do it now, gradually. Here we go. No, Shalom 23. First try. Yatra Kale Devana Buddhati Manga Buddhati Jaiva Yoginaha. That was the second try. Last try. Devana Buddhati Ma Buddhati. Yatra Kale Devana Buddhati Ma Buddhati Jaiva Yoginaha. Prayang Tam Yananti Tam Kalam Pakushuyami Paratashapam. Agni Jyoti Haraha Rahaha. Agni Jyoti Raha. Agni Jyoti Raha Shuklaha. Pranama Sanga Uttara Yanama. Tatra Prayang Tam Kachachananti Brahma Vido Janang. The entire thing. Agni Jyoti Raha. Agni Jyoti Raha Shuklaha. Pranama Sanga Uttara Yanama. Tatra Prayang Tam Kachachananti Brahma Vido Janang. Tumo Rangatiri Sitatang. Too fast. Should have waited a little longer. Okay. Tumo Rangatiri Sitatang. Kurushuna Pranama Sanga Takushuna Yanama. Tatra Janandaramasam Jyoti Yogi Pranapian Divaitatem. Okay, the entire thing. Tumo Rangatiri Sitat. Tumo Rangatiri Sitatang. Kurushuna Pranama Sanga Takushuna Yanama. Tatra Janandaramasam Jyoti Yogi Pranapian Divaitatem. Shukla Kurushunue Nue. Okay. Shukla Kurushunue Kati Hiete Jagataha Shashivate Matem. Eka Yangem Yatiana Purutati Mania Yang Baitate Punaha. Yatiana Purutati Mania Yang Baitate Punaha. Okay, the entire thing. Shukla Kurushunue Kati Hiete Jagataha Shashivate Matem. Eka Yangem Yatiana Purutati Mania Yang Baitate Punaha. I want to do that again. Shashivat, not Shang. Shashivat. Shukla Kurushunue Kati Hiete Jagataha Shashivate Matem. Eka Yangem Yatiana Purutati Mania Yang Baitate Punaha. Naite Suruti Pangaltam Jana Niyogi Muhyati Kashichanam. Katasamata Saveshu Kangleshu Yoga Yukuto Pavaljunan. The whole thing again. 2 left. Yeah, I like getting through the entire shlokas now for certain literatures like Bhagavad Gita. I've read it so many times that I should be able to read the whole entire shloka without making a mistake. Sometime in the near future anyway. Okay, 2 shlokas left. I'm reading the entire shloka. 27. Naitem Surati Pangaltam Jana Niyogi. Naite Surati Pangaltam Jana Niyogi Muhyati Kashichanam. Tasamata Saveshu Kangleshu Yoga Yukoto Pavajunam. Jana Niyogi Muhyati. Okay. Naite Surati Pangaltam Jana Niyogi Muhyati Kashichanam. Tasamata Saveshu Kangleshu Yoga Yukoto Pavajunam. Deveshu Yajinyeshu Tapahasu Jaivan Daneshu Yatupunyo Palam Paradishatama Atietim Tatu Savamidam Viditubang Yogi Param Satana Mupaiti Jadiama. That wasn't bad at all, actually. I'm gonna be there again anyway. I'm done. Can you believe it? It hasn't even been 2 hours yet. Bedeshu Yajinyeshu Tapahasu Jaivan Daneshu Yatupunyo Palam Paradishatama Atiati Tatu Savamidam Viditubang Yogi Param Satana Mupaiti Jadiama. No, Shalom. Tatu Saditi Shri Mad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishad Su Brahma Vidyang Yang Yoga Sutra Shirakura Shuna Juna Sambade Akashara Brahma Yogo Namaste Mutyaya. No, Shalom. Well, if you just came by to hear Sanskrit, this is the end of reading Sanskrit. You could go somewhere else if that's you. Or you want to stick around for the translation. So once again, after having read the original Sanskrit, when you read a translation of any in any language, in Korean or English or any other, like French, what have you, after having read the Sanskrit, this will become spiritually powerful. And, when I read it, that's my demonstration. Okay. I never read the translation before I read the original text, because after reading the original text, the translation becomes spiritually powerful. Okay. Reading in about 30 seconds. It's about a 5-minute reading. I'll say about 10 minutes, 10-minute reading. All right, here we go. Arjuna said, what is that Brahman? What is Adhyatma? What is action, O best of male beings? What also has been said to be Atiputang, and what is called Atidaivan? Who is here Atiyajinya, and how in this body, O slayer of Matu? And how in the time of departure art thou to be known by those that have restrained themselves? The Holy One said, Brahman is the supreme and indestructible. Adhyatma is said to be its own manifestation. The offering which causeth the production and development of all this is called action. Atiphuta is all perishable things. The Atidaivata is the male being. Atiyajinya is I, myself, and this body, O best of all embodied creatures. Remembering me alone in the last moments, he that, casting off the body, departeth, cometh into my essence. I'll read that again. There's too many words in parentheses. Remembering me alone in the last moments, he that, casting off the body, departeth, cometh into my essence. There is no doubt in this. Whichever form one remembereth when one casteth off, at the end the body, unto that one goeth, O son of Gunanti, having habitually meditated on it always. Therefore, think of me at all times, and engage in battle, fixing thy mind and sorry, I am so sorry. Therefore, think of me at all times, and engage me in battle. Sorry, I can't read. It's easier for me to read Sanskrit. This is really bad from one perspective. Therefore, think of me at all times, and engage in battle. Fixing thy mind and understanding on me, thou wilt, without doubt, come even to me. Thinking with the mind, not running to other objects, and endued with abstraction in the form of uninterrupted application, one goeth, O son of Britain, unto the divine and supreme male being. I'll read that again. These are very, very important sentences, by the way. Like every sentence is like a thunderbolt. Thinking with the mind, not running to other objects, and endued with abstraction in the form of uninterrupted application, one goeth, O son of Brahma, unto the divine and supreme male being. He who, at the time of his departure, with a steady mind, endued with reverence, with power of abstraction, and directing the life breath called prana between the eyebrows, thinketh of that ancient seer, who is the ruler, who is minuter than the minutest atom, who is the ordainer of all. I'll read it again. Who is inconceivable in form, and who is beyond all darkness, cometh unto that divine and supreme male being. Minutest, minuter, minute. I can't say minute anymore, thanks to my injuries. I could hardly breathe, you know. He who at the time of his departure, with a steady mind, endued with reverence, with power of abstraction, and directing the life breath called prana between the eyebrows, thinketh of that ancient seer, who is the ruler, who is minuter than the minutest atom, who is the ordainer of all, who is inconceivable in form, and who is beyond all darkness, cometh unto that divine and supreme male being. I will tell thee in brief about that seat, which persons conversant with the Vedas declare to be indestructible, which is entered by ascetics free from all longings, and in expectation of which they practice the vows of brahmacharis. Casting off the body, he who departeth, stopping up all the doors, confining the mind within the heart, placing his own life breath called prana between the eyebrows, resting on continued meditation, uttering this one syllable which is Brahman, and thinking of me, attaineth to the highest goal. I made a mistake. I'll be there again. Almost done. Yeah, I like reading Sanskrit. The translation, not so much. Is that weird? Casting off the body, he who departeth, stopping up all the doors, confining the mind within the heart, placing his own life breath called prana between the eyebrows, resting on continued meditation, uttering this one syllable which is Brahman, and thinking of me, attaineth to the highest goal. He who always thinketh of me, with mind ever withdrawn. I'll read it again, sorry. Getting tired too. He who always thinketh of me, with mind ever withdrawn from all other objects, unto that devotee always engaged on meditation, I am Upanaita, easy of access. I'll read that again. He who always thinketh of me, with mind ever withdrawn from all other objects, unto that devotee, He who always thinketh of me, with mind ever withdrawn from all other objects, unto that devotee, always engaged on meditation, I am Upanaita, easy of access. High-souled persons who have achieved the highest perfection, attaining to me, do not incur rebirth, which is the abode of sorrow, and which is transient. All the worlds, O Arjuna, from the abode of Brahman downwards, have to go through a round of births. On attaining to me, however, O son of Kunti, there is no rebirth. They who know a day of Brahman to end after 1,000 yugas, and a night to terminate after 1,000 yugas, are persons that know day and night. On the advent of the day, everything that is manifest springeth from the unmanifest. And when the night cometh, into that same which is called unmanifest, all things disappear. That same assemblage of creatures, springing forth again and again, dissolveth on the advent of night, and springeth forth, O son of Brahma, when day cometh, constrained. There is, however, another entity. So I'm going to read this sentence again without the article. On the advent of day, everything that is manifest springeth from the unmanifest. And when night cometh, into that same which is called unmanifest, all things disappear. That same assemblage of creatures, springing forth again and again, dissolveth on the advent of night, and springeth forth. That same assemblage of creatures, springing forth again and again, dissolveth on the advent of night, and I can't say springeth. That same assemblage of creatures, springing forth again and again, dissolveth on the advent of night, and springeth forth, au son opportun, when day cometh, constrained. There is, however, another entity, unmanifest and eternal, which is beyond that unmanifest, and which is not destroyed when all the entities are destroyed. It is said to be unmanifest and indestructible. They call it the highest goal, attaining which no one had to come back. That is my supreme seat. That supreme being, au son opportun, he within whom are all entities, and by whom all this is permeated, is to be attained to by reverence, undirected to any other object. I'll be there again. Yeah, all of these sentences are like thunderbolts. Every one of them is a thunderbolt. Okay. That supreme being, au son opportun, he within whom are all entities, and by whom all this is permeated, is to be attained to by reverence, undirected to any other object. I will tell thee the times, O Buddha Parata's race, I can't even read anymore. I will tell thee the times, O Buddha I can't say bull. I am tired. Yes, I prefer reading Sanskrit instead. I will tell thee the times, O Buddha Parata's race, in which devotees departing go never to return or to return. The fire, the light, the day, the lighted fortnight, the 6 months of the northern solstice. I'm being attacked by a non-human at the same time. Is it better to be attacked by a non-human or a human being? Drop me a comment, please. Thank you. Neither. The fire, the light, the day, the lighted fortnight, the 6 months of the northern solstice, departing during these, persons knowing Brahma, Guru Brahman. Smoke night, also the dark fortnight, the 6 months of the southern solstice. In these, the devotee attaining to the lunar night returneth. I'll read it again. Almost done. Yay. I can't believe it. I'm gonna be done before 1 hour and 30 minutes. Smoke night, also the dark fortnight, the 6 months of the southern solstice. In these, a devotee attaining to the lunar night light returneth. Yeah, this is harder than reading Sanskrit. Can you imagine that? What's your first language? Mine is Sanskrit. What is your first language? Drop me a comment, please. I'm half joking, by the way. Smoke night, also the dark fortnight, the 6 months of the southern solstice. In these, the devotee, attaining to the lunar light, returneth. The bright and the dark, these two paths, are regarded to be the eternal of the universe. By the one, he goeth never to return. By the other, one cometh back. Knowing these two paths, O son of Britannia, the devotee is deluded. No devotee is deluded. 2 more sentences to shlokas to go. Yeah. Wow. I'll be done very quickly today. I'm happy, actually. Knowing these two paths, O son of Britannia, no devotee is deluded. Therefore, at all times, be endued with devotion, O Arjuna. The meritorious fruit that is prescribed for the Vedas, for sacrifices, for ascetic austerities, and for gifts, a devotee knowing all this, attaineth to it all, and attaineth the supreme and primeval seat. That's the goal, the supreme and the primeval seat. Anyway, no, shalom. Don, thank you very much. Shabbat, in about an hour here. Half an hour. Okay, yeah, about an hour there'll be Shabbat. I'm not broadcasting anything during Shabbat anymore, unless, like, Mr. Pig is having a digital party or something. I did that before, actually, but it's not gonna happen until I heal. There's nothing to celebrate. What am I celebrating for? If I heal, then I could do, Mr. Pig throws a digital party playing Baroque classical music. Nobody's gonna come. Anyway, have a good day. Have a good night. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.